What is going on, you legends? Another episode of 4x4 Camping and Adventures. And in today's episode, I'm going to take you through probably the latest modification, but definitely something I wanted to go through straight after my trip that we did the Respect the Bush cleanup. And as you can see, the car is absolutely filthy. And we put it through its paces. Went down some really tight tracks and that kind of thing, and that might give you a bit of an idea about what this video is about. So I bit the bullet and I got in touch with Bushwrapz, and we organised getting pretty much the Y62 panel covers that you can get for pretty much most new vehicles, so like Hiluxes and that kind of stuff. And I installed it myself, so the whole thing was installed by me and I put it through its paces. So this is straight after a trip. As you can see, the car's filthy, and I figured right after a trip's probably the best time to give you guys an idea of how this stuff works and how much to protect the car. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, Bushwrapz, what is it? Well, it's a PPE protection that you can actually put onto your panels. So there's a few things in the market that sort of replicate this or do it in different ways, but essentially what this is a clear film, so you don't lose any of the look of your car, and it protects it obviously with a plastic film that goes over your paint. Now I installed this myself. It's a DIY kit, and it's very, very simple to install. You just follow the instructions that Bushwrapz give you and you have no dramas at all. And honestly, it probably took, if I'm going to be brutally honest, it probably took half a day. A lot of sort of, making sure bubbles and that kind of stuff weren't in there. But, getting someone to install this stuff. I spoke to Harry Fisher from Fire to Fork, and he got his installed. I think that probably took him a couple of hours, or 3 or 4 hours or something like that. But yeah, probably half a day to, almost 3/4 of the day to do it yourself. And you do really need someone to help you with it, to essentially pull the sheets off the plastic backing and then put it on your car. So you definitely need someone to help you. So invite someone over for a beer and yeah, get into it. But as I said, this is straight after a trip from Wellington Dam. You can probably see it's a white car, dirt doesn't show on it very well, but it is absolutely filthy. I haven't actually cleaned it since putting the Bushwrapz on, because they say, give it 7 days and that kind of stuff. And it's been way longer than that now, so it should be pretty safe cleaning it. But yeah, what I want to do is actually show you areas where it probably would have got scratched and, what it looks like now. So let me get some deep diving into some areas on the side of the car here. So we went through some pretty tight tracks. You can probably, I'll get a bit of a shot, but you can probably see some lines and that kind of stuff into the pillar here. And if you actually look down the side of the car, there's actually, streaks where the bushes and that kind of stuff would have run down the whole side of the car. But of course, this stuff here is going to protect that, and it's done its job really well. So you can see all the lines going through, but if you sort of run your hand over it, like so, there's not a scratch on it. You can actually see the film, and it's perfect. Now, another cool feature of this actual film, if you do get a bit of a gouge into it, you can actually put hot water on it, and it self-heals. So probably a cool little feature that if you're really, really hammering your paint on a daily basis, or let's say you're going through some really, really, let's say tracks with a lot of branches and that kind of stuff, and they leave those like real deep grooves in your paintwork and that kind of thing, you can actually pour hot water on it, and you'll actually remove the actual the liner will actually heal itself and get rid of that scratch, which is pretty cool. But yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with it so far. Like, even like these big long scratches here, like I've probably got a scratch on my actual mirror, which I do right here, and that would have come across here, and it looks like it's come down here. And there's this big long scratch that pretty much goes the whole length of the vehicle. But if you just rub your finger over it, like so, there's nothing under there. So the PPE's really protected the paint there. So it's a new car. I figured I really want to make sure I keep it looking as new as possible. I did put a few scratches on prior to putting this on. Unfortunately, again, the Wellington Dam area, it's really got it out for me, that area. But the Wellington Dam area, yeah, it's went through a bit of a tight track and scratched a few panels, but it is what it is. In saying that though, when I actually put this onto the fresh paint with a few scratches underneath, it actually got rid of the paint. It didn't get rid of the scratches, but it got rid of the look of the scratch. So I had a big scratch going right down the bottom here. And once I actually put the PPE on there, now of course it's like a layer, so it's almost like when you put a like a glass screen protector on your iPhone or your Samsung or whatever, normally all you can actually see is that glass. You can't actually see the scratches below because it's actually adding like a coat or a layer to it. It's the same thing here, so it made it look like a new car, even though I know there's a few little scratches underneath there. But yeah, I definitely I'm really happy with the result. And it's all being cut to perfect sizes and that kind of thing. You just sort of follow the templates installing it, so it's not hard to install at all. They're about, I think it's about $500 roughly I paid for it, but that's the rough cost of this thing. And you can just replace panels. So if this gets absolutely smashed up, or you get a big gouge and it actually rips the PPE, which would be doing really well to do that. But if you do rip the PPE, you can actually just rip this panel off and replace it with a brand new panel from Bushwrapz. So they'll send you out a rear quarter panel and sell it directly or sell it separately, which is really cool. So if I get a tree or something, or even if you get a dent and you got to go to the panel beater, get a new door put on or whatever, you can actually then just put the PPE back over it once you get it back and that kind of thing. So it's really cool. I'm really happy with it. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it comes up after its first wash. But it looks like it's held its own really well. You can think about all these contaminants obviously would be on my paint, so definitely pretty awesome stuff. But yeah, that's the sort of new mod. It's a little bit hard to talk about because it is clear and it's really hard to see on camera. But you can obviously see the edging. That's probably the only thing that sort of niggles me a little bit. But it's a filthy car, right? So I'm not too stressed about what the edging looks like. But once you wash it, obviously all that edging will come off and it will be all clear and nice again. But that's the only thing that really stands out, is when it's dirty, you can sort of see the edging of the wrap, where the dirt sort of got caught on the edge of the wrap and that kind of thing, and you've sort of, just got like a line there or whatever. But beyond that, yeah, no, she's come up an absolute treat. And even on the front panel there, you've got the little vent or whatever they call it, and the V8 symbol. They've cut all that out, so you literally just put it around, and yeah, nuts. If I can install it, anyone can install it really. It's pretty damn simple. As I said, just leave yourself a day, and if you give yourself a day to do it, you're laughing really. But yeah, what do you think? Would you put something like this in your car? Chuck a comment down below. I highly recommend it if you've got a new car, because as I said, it really protects the paint. So it's definitely worth looking into if you're buying a newer car and investing, let's say $70,000 plus into a vehicle. Yeah, it's worth sort of protecting that paint, so you get more resale value at the end of the down the other end, if you know what I mean. But yeah, no, it's definitely worth checking out. And this isn't the only one they do. They do full-blown kits, which have to be installed by professionals, which actually wrap the whole car. But this is obviously their DIY kits, so a little bit different. But yeah, let me know what you think. That is another episode of 4x4 Camping and Adventures. I'll keep you updated with how this is going over sort of 6 and 12 months. But after the first trip, if it sort of looks like this and it's still going well, I don't think we'll have an issue at all. But yeah, I might see you in the next video. If I don't see you in the next video, I might see you out there on tracks and trails. If I don't see you on the tracks and trails, I shall see you later. Have a good day and bye.